jump on here today to do kind of a quick review of a product that I just kind of caught wind of. I'm reviewing the Cake and Bake Sponge from Veramona, and it's in Sephora right now. I first heard of it when I saw it on Manny MUA's channel. He did a short review on it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of intriguing. It's an odd shape, it's different, it's something kind of cool. So I wanted to definitely try it out and show it to you guys and let you know what I thought of it. So I bought it from Sephora for, I believe, $14, and I'm trying to see if it's worth the hype. It's cool. It's an odd sort of shape, which is intriguing. So let's see what it does. I'm going to go and dampen it. This is what it looks like pre-dampened. So it looks kind of, you know, small, compact. I'd really like to see how much it blows up. Usually the standard beauty sponge blows up quite a bit after you dampen it. So I'm going to dampen it and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. It's now damp. It actually got lighter when I dampened it, but it's definitely bigger. So let's see. So what I've done already is I've already cleansed my face. I used my Vino face scrub, and I have prepped my face. So the first product I used was my Eucerin Daily Protection face lotion. It's got SPF 30. It's supposed to be like 90 out today, so SPF all the way. I also used my Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I still only have my little travel size. It's really lasted me a while. I use this almost daily, and I got it in a BoxyCharm before, and it's literally just lasted me for a while. And if you can see in the container, I still have a bunch left. So until I can find an affordable quality drugstore primer that compares to it, any suggestions would be definitely well received. I'll be using my Smashbox until it runs out. So since I'm cleansed and prepped, I'm going to go ahead and use my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow 24-hour foundation. I wear it in the color 203, which is nude beige. I'm going to bring my mirror over here. So I'm going to see how it works. It's kind of a little baffling because you have all these sides. I know the sides that I want to use to get into like the corners, but I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to just put on my foundation. So I'm going to put a little bit of my L'Oreal Pro Glow on the back of my hand here. I'm going to dab my sponge in here. And then I'm just going to go to town. See what it does. Alright, so my first glance. It's not too soft. Okay, some beauty sponges are too soft and you don't feel like they're getting the product where it needs to go. But I feel like it definitely is. I'm definitely seeing product go down on my face. So it's not really absorbing as much product as I thought it would be. Because I am a dedicated makeup sponge user. And I just love makeup sponges. I use them religiously. And I feel like it's really laying down my foundation very nicely. I don't see any streaking, which is nice, but then again, I'm just dabbing it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the other side. From first glance, it seemed to have put my foundation down very nicely. I don't feel like it's patchy at all. So one thing I did notice is some of my other sponges, for example this one, I use the Sephora one a lot, And as I'm squeezing the Sephora one, there's a lot of bounce back. And as I'm squeezing this one, there is not as much bounce back. I feel like this one's a lot denser than this one, and it's not as springy. So just for like, you know, for the fact that you're dabbing it all over your face, it's definitely a lot more effort on my part to make it bounce. You know, I'm not getting a lot of bounce back. It's not very springy. My hands hurt a little bit. My hands hurt a little bit by the time I was done doing this whole face. But as far as the foundation usage, I think it was pretty much par with my other makeup sponge that I use. I don't feel like I used more or less than my other makeup sponges. So that was nice. It's not, I don't feel like I was wasting the product, but then again, I didn't feel like I was getting more product out of it. It was pretty standard for a sponge, in my opinion. So now I'm going to go ahead and put on my concealer and see how it works with the concealer. Today I'm using the Maybelline New York Instant Age Rewind concealer in the color Light. Again, with every time I go to the freaking drugstore, the Maybelline aisle, all of the lightest colors are out. I don't understand why. But it's kind of interesting. It comes in this little tube with a foam applicator, and you just twist the top. The reason why I got this one is I was watching a couple videos, and I heard that it's a pretty good dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which is like super popular and a very good full coverage concealer. So I've been trying it out. I feel like it blended out my concealer really nicely. I feel like I don't use terribly light concealer to begin with. I don't do like the really pale one, but I feel like it definitely did blend out my concealer really well. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bake under my under eyes. I don't do this every day. Today, since it's supposed to be hot, and I'm probably going to need it, I'm going to bake in certain parts of my face. So today I'm going to use my transparent powder in the color Sheer. It's from e.l.f. It's a really good setting powder in my opinion for a drugstore setting powder. I'm taking the damp sponge and I'm going under my under eyes. Yeah, I don't think it was damp enough. It didn't lay as much powder as I thought it would. But that, I believe, is my error, not necessarily the sponge. Alright, I'm going to let this bake a little bit, and I'm going to complete the rest of my makeup, and I will be back to let you know my final thoughts. Alright guys, I'm back. I finished up my makeup for the day, and I just wanted to kind of give you my final thoughts on the sponge. It's a little more dense than my makeup sponges that I use currently, but it's a nice sponge. I like it so far. I'm definitely going to use it more and see how I can make it work perfectly for myself. I feel like it got my foundation on fairly flawlessly. I didn't see any streaks. I didn't see any issues with it. And I used a makeup, since I knew I was reviewing a product I'd never used. I used a makeup and a primer and products that I've used before, nothing new. So I know exactly how the Pro Glow goes on my skin. So from what I saw, was pretty much how it goes on every day and every time I use it. So that was definitely, you know, a factor in which I could say, okay, I know that it's a working sponge and that it's working well for me. The only issue I had really was putting the powder on the under eye. And the only reason why I say that is because I think if I'm going to use a damp sponge like I usually do, I need to re-dampen this one. So maybe I didn't put enough water in it. I'm not sure. So I'll definitely have to go and try that again and see if I need to re-dampen it. If so, whatever. What's another, you know, trip to the sink? It's really not a big deal. But as far as how it works, I really liked it. The price point is slightly less expensive than under the original Beauty Blender, but slightly more expensive than some of the generic kinds. So as far as affordability goes, it's pretty standard as far as the sponges that are out there, the more drugstore sponges, the more generic beauty blenders, I guess you can call them. I loved how the corners really got into the places that I personally struggle with or like to conceal. I like to get as close to my eye line or my water line as possible, my lash line as possible. I also like to go around the corners of my nose because I get some redness there, and I just feel like it really was able to get into these corners because of the edges that it has. So I was really quite pleased with the results of it. I was a little concerned that it was going to be a little gimmicky and, you know, something just odd, because they're coming out with new kind of weird sponges every day, it seems like, and some of them work and some of them don't. So in my point of view, this is a hit. Alright guys, that's it for this review of the Veramona Cake and Bake Sponge from Sephora. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you got a little bit of knowledge if you were hesitating whether to buy it or not, or if it was something you'd never seen before. I hope that I could just give you a little glance into how it works. If you like this kind of video and want to see more from me, please hit the like button and comment any ideas that you have for videos that I could make. While you're down there, if you could hit the subscribe button, you'll see everything from me, and hit the bell icon and you'll be told the very moment / nanosecond that I upload a video, which, duh, don't you love that? Notification crew, you know you are one for at least one of your favorite channels. I am for several. So until next time guys, thanks for tuning into the makeup kit. That's me, the one and lonely, and I'll see you in the next video.